Greetings, fellow gamers. This is pretty much a gameplay of me playing Momentum. We pretty much started off with like 3 people on each side, and we had one more flag to capture. Unfortunately, more people joined on their team, and they just pushed us back completely. So we pretty much spent this entire game just trying to fight back and fight back. Well, I say we, but it was just pretty much me. Anyway, the whole point of this video was score streaks, and let's face it, the score streaks these days are awful, and that is a fact. There's no disputing it. I mean, I only started off with Black Ops 2, but it seems that the last time any score streaks were good was that particular game. For me, score streaks should always get half the amount of kills that it took to actually earn them in the first place, unless of course it's a support streak or something like that. So for example, if it was I don't know, a VTOL warship or a helo pilot or a paladin, if that took 12 kills to reach, damn it, I'm expecting 6 kills, give or take 1 or 2 more or less or whatever. It should not be the norm for you to control a beast machine in the air and struggle to get the kills because of some obnoxious reasons like the weakness of the weapons or the difficulties in piloting the machine or whatever. I mean, the other reason why I enjoyed Black Ops 2 score streaks because there were many choices and it made for varied games. I know some people didn't really get those varied games, but you play it long enough and you will see different people using different combinations. My personal favorite combination with the UAV, counter UAV, and the orbital VSAT combo. It may be a little bit too powerful because of the orbital VSAT. I mean, I know several others who actually started off with the orbital VSAT and they just chained it into something bigger, like the stealth chopper, even though that was less. But they chained it into something like the escort drone or the warthog, and then they changed that into the dogs or the swarm. The thing is, if you wanted a bit of land-based support, you could call on the AGR or the dogs. If you wanted a bit of heavy firepower, you had the death machine and the war machine to call on. And of course, if you wanted to rule the skies, you could call on the stealth chopper, the lodestar, and the escort drones. But if there was any criticism, it would be that if the other team was any good, they would just pollute the skies with swarms and warthogs and the likes, so you just end up dying over and over and over again. And for me, after I played Ghost, I realized that the score streak air superiority, that actually would have come in handy for Black Ops 2 with all the air support streaks and, well, not support streak, the kill streaks that were going around. Heck, even having something like a surface-to-air missile thing or anything, that would have actually helped balance it. Just the whole point of it was that you had a good range of score streaks that you could choose from, that you never felt you have to choose this, you have to choose that, because the choices are so limited. Ghosts was a very, very mixed bag, and I want to say that it just straight up sucked. The score streaks just sucked. But to be honest with you, they did actually have some good ideas. I mean, changing the UAV to the ground-based SATCOMs meant that the game wouldn't be overpopulated with UAVs and that. However, I would have preferred the stackable effect a lot more if they hadn't had it so that you needed 2 for it to work like a regular UAV, because for me it just made the SATCOMs far too weak that there was no point in using them. I mean, SATCOMs were already easy enough to take out on purpose if you spotted one on the ground. Spotting them was easy enough if you had sitrep, not to mention that they could be taken out by grenade and gunfire, or the crossfires and all that. The UAV did not have to worry about all that, as if you wanted to take them out, you needed to use a pick 10 point on a weapon or an equipment that specialized in destroying them, which wasn't really worth it. You may as well spend that point in something that's just going to keep you off the radar, like Ghost or Low Profile. I mean, why carry a Stinger when you've got like 1 or 2 bullets, when you can just carry low Profile for 1 perk point and you're done. Just stay off the radar. Forget your teammates. What's important is that you survive. But ultimately, in Ghost, the top end score streak that took a bit of effort to actually earn, they just sucked. I mean, the Loki was terrible, as would the Assault Juggernaut, and the Helo Pilot, while decent, it was useless on maps like Sovereign, and perhaps maybe Strike Zone if it was pre-KEM Strike. Um, it was also awkward to control as well, which was a very negative minus point. The Battle Hind was a piece of crap that myself and David just said, nope, we're not using this thing, and we just never touched it again. I mean, you can't really call in a 9-point score streak and it barely even racks up 1 or 2 kills, and it's just really frustrating to have this big massive machine in the sky. It's shooting, I can hear it shooting, but it ain't getting any kills. The only thing that was good about without it being too overpowered was the IMS, the Griffin, the Guard Dog, in theory, when it wasn't killing you by lunging 20 feet across the room, and I suppose the sentry guns were pretty decent as well. The support streaks were pretty fun, like the Night Owl, the Ground Jammer, the support squad mate, the Oracles, but they just really did not compare to the Orbital VSAT, the EMP, the Blackbird of old. In Advanced Warfare now, I'm actually really glad that you can remove 2 score streaks so I can have myself an extra perk or an attachment, because quite frankly, they suck. The Warbird is hitmark essential. The Paladin really isn't all that. Missile strikes has nothing on Trinity rockets of old, and heck, even the Predator missile of old. The Goliath in theory would be awesome, but it suffers from the same problem that the Juggernaut and the Maniac have. You can't really get out of it once you're in it, which is stupid. I mean, if you think back to Black Ops 2, you had the War Machine and you had the Death Machine. Imagine as soon as you run out of bullets, you've got this big massive machine in your hand that you can't really get out of, and that's just stupid. The bombing run is actually pretty decent. I've got no issues with it, but the choice of streaks, even with the add-ons and all that, just really seems so lackluster. Hopefully Treyarch realise how much fun it is to actually earn score streaks in the matches. Maybe not by care packages, but that's always going to be there. But hopefully they realise that and make their Call of Duty the best one yet, which I've always maintained will actually be the best one. I mean, right now in this Call of Duty, and I think in this gameplay, the only thing I ever actually run is the UAV with the threat detection, and as you can see, people are just lighting up like Times Square, and it's just so much easier. I mean, you can have your big massive machines and all that, you can have your big massive pilots, your lodestars and all that, but at the end of the day, awareness is just simply so much better. Is more important than actually getting the kills, especially in this game with its borked up spawn systems. It's easier for you to figure out where people are and make your move and plan due to that, rather than, you know, kill 5 people on their team, suddenly they've all spawned behind you. It's just not worth it, really. Anyway, that's about it for this video. At the end of the day, we were never really gonna win this match. It was just a battle of attrition and just making sure that we push for the draw in the regular match and then pushing for the draw in overtime and just making sure that we didn't lose. I mean, after all, and you'll see this in a second, but somebody literally went 1 and 240. How do you go 1 and 240? How do you get 240 deaths and not even get a couple of kills? You should have just quit playing, put the controller down, because you've let yourself down, you've let the team down. Anyway, that's it for me. Take care of yourself and keep being you. Except if you're that guy. Get better.